gotta go to FlixPop Radio. FlixPop Radio.
Welcome everyone to FlixPop Radio, your source for the best movie talk here at WGHT and WTBQ every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. I'm your host, Paul Bastante, and there is literally nowhere else in the world, and I mean the entire world, that I would rather be than right here with all of you in lovely Warwick, New York at WTBQ. The number to call here is 845-651-1110. If you can't call us, text us at 845-328-0886. You can also catch us across the country by visiting WTBQ.com and streaming us from there. I've got a great show for you guys today. With us in the studio, a couple of very special guests from Full Moon Paranormal, Nicole Chivattoni and Lisa Lascola. We'll hear from you guys in just a bit. We'll hear from Clint Green, sales manager at the Greenwood Lake Marina. The reality wrap-up with Shelley Williams at the bottom of the hour, and then Santiago will drop the People's Podcast on us. Can't wait for that. We'll also play Dinner and a Movie, and where you'll get the chance to play the Movie Line Trivia game to win dinner and a movie date night of courtesy of FlixPop Radio. That's right. FlixPop Radio will help you get lucky this weekend. Right? I mean, you have to say, dinner and a movie, armed with that, you're going to have at least a bigger chance of it.
Definitely.
Sounds great.
Yeah. FlixPop Radio is brought to you by Spaziana's Catering and Food Design, Cardinal Tours, Monica's Italian Restaurant, Tony T's Roadshow, Cardinal Frames, the Greenwood Lake Marina, the Movie Club Podcast, and Dream Builders by Design, and the Reset with Stephanie Short podcast. So today our guests in the studio are from the Hudson Valley themselves. They're part of a paranormal investigative team performing paranormal investigations, appearing at live events and radio stations too, like you're here today. So from Full Moon Paranormal, we have Lisa Lascola and Nicole Chivattoni. How are you guys today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Lisa, how are you?
I'm doing good. A little tired. We had an investigation last night, but otherwise well.
Yeah. Now, where was the investigation?
Silvio's Italian Villa in Warwick.
You guys out there in Warwick land know where Silvio's is, and we're going to get into it a little bit. But just the yes or no. Did we find things out about Silvio's last night?
We definitely did.
Okay. All right. We're going to get to the bottom of that in a little bit. But before that, we're going to play a game. Is that cool with you guys?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Cool. We're going to play yes, no, either, or. Which brings us the opportunity to learn a little bit more about our guest each week. I'll ask these guys a series of rapid-fire questions that will require either a yes or no or an either-or response. Lisa, let's do a few examples, shall we?
Okay.
All right. Disco fries, yes or no?
Definitely.
Benevolent spirit or malignant spirit?
Ooh, benevolent.
Watch an exorcism, yes or no?
Yes.
I think that'd be pretty cool, too.
Yeah.
All right, okay. I think we're all set. We get it. It's time to do it for reals. Yes, no, either or is brought to you by the Greenwood Lake Marina. Reach them at greenwoodlakemarina.info. Today's category is...
Paranormal horror movies.
You guys ready?
Yes.
All right, please place your trays in the upright position and prepare for impact. Okay, Nicole, The Conjuring or Insidious?
The Conjuring.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a classic. Paranormal Activity, Lisa, or The Blair Witch Project?
Oh, the Blair Witch Project. That movie scared me to death.
Yeah, it scared me too. And the cool thing about that movie, it's one of the most popular, I think, of the tropes having to do with like found video. Mm-hmm. They walk up, they pick up the video camera, they look inside, bam, they're in a horror movie. The Exorcist or Poltergeist?
The Exorcist.
How about you?
The Exorcist.
Yeah,
it's a classic.
Basically, I feel like, spoiler alert here, that The Exorcist is really the number one really in this genre. I mean, I have to say, like, it's that far out ahead. Now, one of my favorite things about this is the movies that have to do with haunted houses that have some stuff to it. Mm-hmm. So the Amityville Horror, Lisa, this is for you, or The Haunting in Connecticut.
That's a tough one, but I love the Amityville Horror. It's one of my favorites.
Name, how about you?
I would go with The Haunting in Connecticut because we know people who actually worked on that case.
True.
Really?
Very true.
Now, I'm not too familiar with The Haunting in Connecticut, but I know, like, in the Amityville Horror, when the walls start to ooze green slime, to me, that's, like, the coolest thing. What's the biggest thing about Haunting in Connecticut?
I think the realness. Like that it could just happen to any family.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so next one. Sinister, Lisa, or Hereditary?
I would go with Sinister.
The Others or The Sixth Sense?
Definitely Sixth Sense.
Okay, and what about you, Nicole?
Agree, it's Sixth Sense.
Okay.
Because that twist is legendary. No one saw that
It
coming.
might be the biggest reveal, really, in the history of movies. The Sixth Sense is like it's known for it, and that's another really popular trope for this genre. Is that the reveal at the end, which is everything you didn't think it was. Oh, it is.
You had to go back and watch it again because now you,
And then when you watch it again, it has a whole different meaning when
Exactly.
you know what that twist is. So, okay, Nicole, 1408 or The Entity?
The Entity.
How about you?
1408. I'm a Stephen King fan.
Yeah, well, we love Stephen King, and who has spawned more paranormal books and movie ideas than the king of them all,
Yes.
right? Stephen King. Grave Encounters or The Taking of Deborah Logan? You guys don't have to know that one. All right, on to the next. The Changeling or The Devil's Backbone?
I'm going to go with The Changeling.
Okay.
I would go with the same Changeling.
Yeah, okay. So far you guys are pretty much in lockstep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to be like duking it out
We're
here in the
friends.
studio. Like I'm in the middle of them, and I usually put myself in the middle of guests
Right.
because sometimes we have fights here in the studio.
Oh, that's crazy.
They come here and they do the live radio show. They come and they're like the best of friends, and they leave and like somebody's got a black eye, and so I make sure I sit in the middle.
I don't know. I'm not messing with Lisa.
No, I know, because Lisa she would kick my butt too.
She's a tough lady.
Yes.
yeah.
Lisa, The Innkeepers or White Noise?
The Innkeepers.
Okay, Women in Black or The Orphanage?
The Orphanage.
How about you on that one?
Orphanage.
Orphanage. Okay, and then the last one, you guys may know this, is kind of The Fog. You ever heard of that movie?
Of course.
And Crimson Peak.
The Fog.
The Fog.
Fog.
Okay. All right. So thanks for playing that with me. That was fun. Basically, I feel like this gives our audience the chance to know you guys, to get to know what's inside of your mind. And it's kind of like when you're, I don't know, getting to know somebody, when they say to you, hey, let's go see a movie. And you're like, hey, what do you want to see? And they give you two choices. And
Right.
They may be testing you.
It's always horror for me.
Endgame.
So Nicole says that if they pick wrong, that's a deal breaker.
Yep.
That's a deal breaker. Yeah, because like you want, and you know what? It's like an innocuous question. You don't even know it's like a first date. You're on the, and you ask, and then they say this movie. You're like, check, they're off the list.
Well, if you can't agree on the movie on the first date, you're going to be arguing about movies for the rest of your life.
Yes, because when you're agreeable on a first date, you know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
agree with everything.
Yep.
And if you have disagreements right from the get,
Yeah, that's not good.
Yep.
that's a problem. So tell me how you guys got into this, and that's off air before we got on air. You guys were talking to our station manager Taylor, and she asked you guys, how long have you been doing this? And I don't think that this is something that you do. I think it's something that does you.
This is true.
I can't help but think that it's in you at a young age. You realize that you have this like ability. Is that the case, Lisa?
Well, yeah, because I grew up in a house where my mom was, I was a young child. My mom was doing seances, Ouija boards, meditating, having all the ladies come over. And yeah, I got really into it at a young age. And I was seeing things that nobody else was seeing or hearing. So it made me interested and curious.
How about you?
Yeah, as far back as I can remember, I've been into this while other kids were reading Dr. Seuss. I was reading Hans Holzer, books about ghosts and hauntings. So I was always the weird kid.
Got you. Yeah, Dr. Seuss. You were. That was like to you, child's play.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I can't remember a time when I wasn't interested in supernatural and hauntings.
Yeah, me either.
All right. So on the other side, when we get back from our break, we're going to talk a little bit about that because I want to hear what some of the weirder things that you guys have experienced. And a lot of people in our listening audience, they have these perceptions of what you guys do. We want to kind of like pull the curtain back and give them a look into what it is. So on the other side of the break, we'll hear from Clint Green from Greenwood Lake Marina and our Greenwood Lake Report. More from Lisa and Nicole. Get a chance to win dinner and a movie. It's all coming up after this. Don't go away.
Little pigs, let me come in. Not by the hair on your chinny chin chin. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in.
WTBQ.
So, welcome back to FlixPop Radio. We're still here with Nicole and Lisa from Full Moon Paranormal. Let's face it, I have you guys working overtime here today. You didn't think you'd be working on a Saturday here after working all night last night, but here you are. It's all in the name of great radio, though. Yes or yes?
Yeah, it's a little early for paranormal investigators, but it's all good.
I got a question for you guys. Do you guys like getting out on the lake? Jet skis, boats, things like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Awesome, because we have Greenwood Lake Marina here up in the Hudson Valley here. It's a great place. Visit them, greenwoodlakemarina.info. But it's time for the Greenwood Lake Report with my friend, my pal, my partner in crime, Clint Greenwood. How are you today, my friend? Well, thanks for calling in.
You are very welcome. Good morning, Paul. Good morning, Nicole and Lisa. How's everybody on this Saturday morning?
Very good. And you?
We're living the dream, Clint, working our way up to middle management.
Oh, that's awesome. Paul, how else can we live a dream?
No other way.
Oh, what about coming on the lake?
No, and I did that last week, and it was tremendous,
You did?
and I'm already missing it.
I know. Well, what we need to do is buy the boat, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we love it, we want to live the dream, we got to buy the boat.
That's correct.
That's correct.
Yes.
But what if we can't own a boat, or that's not quite the commitment we want? What else can we do out here on the lake?
We could go to the beach.
Yeah.
We could rent out boats, and we could go do the Airbnb that's on the private island that's on the lake. You know what? Let me let you take it away, because I could talk about Greenwood Lake all day long, every day.
Did you know that we also have our own in-house boat club?
Get out.
So for a small investment each year, you can have a great way to take out all different types of boats, pontoon boats, speed boats, deck boats, even a personal watercraft. Because who doesn't love clubs, right? Book clubs, Costco, all these rewards clubs you can be a part of at Atlantic City, Marshall's, Petco. Everybody likes being a part of something that gives back, right?
Absolutely, I do too.
There you go. So if we enter into our boat club, we have all these different ways that we can enjoy boats at a non-committal value of purchasing. And then that opens up exclusive club discounts for our season pass to our water park, exclusive parties and events that we hold here at the marina on our beach, and you have the inside track to completely enjoying the lake life here at Greenwood Lake Marina.
Gotta love it, man. Listen, for our listeners out there, if you haven't been up there, you gotta get up there. First of all, it's 9 miles from one side to the other, and it's actually beautiful. The homes that are on the the scenery, the everything. Got to do it, and you got to see this guy right here, Clint Green. He's the sales manager at Greenwood Lake Marina. greenwoodlakemarina.info. Go visit them. Clint, thanks a lot. We'll see you next week. All right, buddy.
You are very welcome. Everyone here at Greenwood Lake Marina is waiting to share their passion for the lake lifestyle with all who come to enjoy the lake with us. Have a wonderful week and a great rest of the weekend.
Peace out, brother.
Thanks.
All right, man. So listen, guys, Lisa and Nicole, thanks so much for being on the show today. Every guest who appears on FlixPop Radio receives dinner for two at Monica's Italian Restaurant, 1 Lakeside Avenue, Pompton Lakes, New Jersey. It's an awesome place. Have you guys ever been there?
No, but I know what we're doing after the show.
I know where you're going. All courtesy of Monica's Italian Restaurant. Visit them today at monicasrestaurant.net. All right, so we got all our business out of the way, and we're still only about 4 minutes into our second quarter of the show. So we talked before we got into break about this, and I feel like people, maybe if they don't know what you do, I'd like you to give us an explanation of what it is that you do, Lisa. For in layman's terms, what is it that you guys do at Full Moon? Well,
we do public events for people in the Hudson Valley where we do fundraising for historical homes or venues such as Silvio's last night, and we give people a chance to come and use our equipment and learn about ghost hunting, and if they were ever curious, just to give them a little taste of it.
Now, you guys are at Silvio's yesterday, Nicole. The first of all, the place is great.
It is. It's amazing.
They're a big friend to the station and to the owners of the station, and we love going there. Tell us a little bit about how last night went.
So last night actually went really well. We got a decent amount of activity. We had dinner, a gallery reading with a psychic medium, and then we did a little mini investigation. And I was surprised by the activity we got. At one point, lights were turning on and off by themselves.
Okay.
Our equipment was going off. We were in communication with a little girl spirit that came through our psychic medium. and our equipment. So a lot of validation there.
Now, before I get too much more into Silvio's, what happened at Silvio's, you said you were communicating with like a little girl spirit. Tell us more about like how that is, what you see, because I feel like people out there, it's like with aliens, and I know you guys have nothing to do with aliens, but when we think about aliens, I'm talking humans. A lot of times we don't really know how that would manifest, or we don't even know if we would be able to wrap our minds around what one would look like. Would they be an amoeba? Would they be an essence, a sound, whatever? What is it that you see?
So spirits can manifest and appear in a lot of different ways. Sometimes it's a shadow figure. Sometimes it's just something you see out of the corner of your eye. Sometimes you can see a full body apparition. And I don't believe that spirit appears the same way to everyone. For example, if your grandfather's coming through to you, you may see him as an older man, where if he's coming through to your grandmother, she may see him how he looked on their wedding day, because that's how he wants to present himself to her.
Okay. Excellent. And for you, Lisa, what do you see? Is it different?
I see all different things, yeah. I mean, I've seen mists, I've seen shadow figures, I've seen things crawling along the floor. That was scary. I've seen like full-bodied apparitions, not solid, but like,
Sure.
And they're very quick.
Yeah.
I've seen a half a woman that kind of just floated by.
Which half?
The top.
The top half?
Good thing it was the top, yeah. She just kind of went around the corner, yeah.
Gotcha, wow. And when you see one, you start to interact with one. How does that work, Nicole? Like, what's the interaction like?
So usually we don't see them first. Usually, I'm not a psychic medium. I rely on the equipment when we go into places. So we'll go in, we'll set up, and we'll begin by introducing ourselves to the spirits and telling them why we're there, and asking them to, give us a sign that they're there, to light up a piece of equipment, to interact with something that we have set up. And a lot of times, if it's an intelligent haunting, they will. And they'll use the equipment to answer our questions, to tell us their name, to tell us their story.
You said if they're an intelligent, is there such a thing as a smart ghost?
They're a very smart ghost. But generally, we consider two types of hauntings. It's either an intelligent haunting or a residual haunting.
Okay.
Residual haunting, think like a movie, like a tape that just keeps playing on repeat.
Okay.
Intelligent, they know we're there. They can respond to our questions.
Yes. Wow. And
They interact with us, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's another thing is the spirit world. And I know you guys have equipment that can monitor or pick up communications, electromagnetic sounds, and things that are otherwise not explainable, like under normal circumstances. And sometimes, and I've heard this, sometimes it's really noisy, and there's a lot of like different voices that you might hear like in it. And that really begs the scenario to me, in my mind, of like what it's like just on the other side. I mean, are there, people that are in, ghost form, spirit form? Are they like right next to me, yelling at me, trying to get heard? Or like what's going on, Lisa, in that world that we're hearing and that they're doing?
Well, I think once we open up the communication, there's spirits that want to talk. So sometimes there's several spirits just trying to get their message out or talk to us.
Sure.
So they're kind of yelling over. Sometimes we have to say, okay, one at a time, because we can't understand you. And sometimes they understand that, and we'll only get one voice that comes through.
Really?
And just say, take your time, take turns.
Yeah.
Because it's too much. They're just ba
Sure.
ba 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 ba.
Yeah. Now, Lisa, you're more of a medium, right?
I don't consider myself a medium,
Right.
but I am sensitive, and I do see things.
Got you. Now,
and I do hear things.
Has one of these spirits ever like followed you home?
Actually,
like the next day you're taking a shower, boom, he's like, they're right there. Like, what's up with that?
funny story about that. Actually, that happened to all of us after we were doing a preliminary investigation over in Wappingers at a historic home. And we felt a very not nice presence up in the attic. And then we went home the next morning. I get out of bed, I go into the bathroom, and my TV was on full volume, remote sitting in the middle of my bed when I came back in.
Wow.
And then Lisa had an experience where her phone got thrown off the counter the same day.
That's right, twice.
So why? Who did you piss off, Lisa? Who'd you make
I don't
upset?
know, but I mean, yeah. And my husband was like, "What was that?" And my phone is sitting in the middle of the kitchen floor, and my purse was dumped out. And then it happened again the next day. But then it stopped. It stopped for all of us.
It seemed like a little bit of a warning because another girl on our team was having these ominous dreams that night too. So it seemed like hey, you came into my space. I can come into your space. You better leave us alone.
Holy gosh. Okay. Yeah. And have you ever had situations where you've been fearful for your life?
I have a lot of those situations. I do get scared because I believe in, darker things. I know they're out there. So when I feel like that, I get very scared. But yeah, I've been scared where I have to send Nicole in.
Yeah. So yeah, Nicole, that's what happens. She's like the precision surgical tool that's employed for these things. You have the stronger stomach for this stuff?
It doesn't really bother me. When we see like a shadow figure out in the hallway, I'm the one who has to go check it out. When somebody hears something in the attic,
right,
I have to go find out what it was.
Now, for you, Nicole, if you're somebody out there and you suspect that you may be sensitive to this or you are in fact sensitive to this, what are some of the things that you might feel that would make it, that would confirm that, I mean, people talk about getting the hair standing up in the back of their neck, right? Or getting that feeling of being watched from behind. Is there something else? Like, what's the feeling you get when you're in somebody or something is in your presence like that?
It can depend really on what it is that it's in your presence. If it's something like a relative, you may feel like a hand on your shoulder. You may feel comforted, just like a sense of peace. If it's something a little more ominous, a little more malicious, you may feel like you're being watched. You may feel uneasy, but a lot of natural things like high levels of EMF can create the same reactions. That's why we go in and we test those things.
And when you guys do this, are the property owners like there with you while you're doing it?
Yeah.
I mean, do you want them to have them there so they can give you like information, background? Are you asking them these type of things while you're doing the investigations?
Yeah, usually
Lisa?
we'll ask, what the hauntings are, or the activity in the home or the building, so we can concentrate on those areas.
Sure. And do sometimes people call you who are just like in a panic and they're just like scared? And, there's like some malevolent like force like in their home or trying to expel them or whatever. Like what's it like? What's it like for these people?
Yeah, sometimes people who call us, they're just so scared. They don't even want to be in their house. We've had clients call us who have been staying in a hotel because they were afraid to be in the home.
Awesome. I think that it's something that we're going to like talk about, in a little bit. Is just what those things are like. Like, you move into your house, like most people are worried about having like some mice in there,
Right.
And, come to find out, maybe there's like some malevolent force like in your attic who wants to kill you. I mean, I can't even imagine like what that's like.
We had one gentleman who literally slept in his bedroom with the door locked and a loaded gun. That's how scared he was.
But did you make him understand that like ghosts can go through doors and stuff like that?
Yeah, we did, but that's how scared he was.
It made him feel safe.
It made him feel safer.
Well, I guess that's all you can do is just be safe and try to keep yourself as safe as possible. But I mean, geez, I would be thinking in the back of my mind, like no matter where I go, I can't climb a tree, can't go in the bathroom, right? They're going to break in.
Oh, that's my rules for the ghost at my house. I'm like, you do not bother me in the bathroom.
Yes.
Well, they're, a lot of times you don't have the control over it. So listen, when we come back, we're going to get a visit from Shelley Williams. She'll give us the reality wrap up for the week. And everyone dreams of being a paranormal investigator. We'll find out if it's as sexy as we think when we come back.
Why are you doing this to me? Do you hear me? Why are you doing this to me? I can't. I just can't.
What a May, tell her she's wearing the shirt that I spilt the margarita on and the earrings I gave her for Christmas.
Molly, Sam says to tell you you're wearing the shirt that he spilled the margarita on and the earrings he gave you for Christmas. Don't you see I'm not a fake? Not about this.
I'm being pointed at from the control room by Frank. Thank you. Welcome back to FlixPop Radio. Still here with Nicole and Lisa from Full Moon Paranormal. You guys are awesome. Learning so much today. But I have a question for you, Nicole. Like, what's your favorite type of vacation?
Vacation.
Yeah, like, on vacation, staycation, European vacation,
I would
cruise.
love
What
to
is it?
go to Europe. I would love to go to Italy.
Really? Venice.
Yes.
So romantic. And, to me, and they have these there in Venice and in Italy, is hands down the best vacations, a European river tour vacation. But every time I try to book one, I'm like E.T. and I can't get home. So instead, I call Betty Houston at Cardinal Tours in Pompton Lakes. They specialize in European river tours. She can also help you with your exclusive resort or group vacation excursion. You really can rely on her experience, and we love her dearly. She's just a kind human being and interested in your enjoyment on vacation. Call her today, 973-835-0177. Do it today. Okay, so the reality wrap-up is delivered every week at the bottom of the hour by actress and reality TV junkie Shelley Williams, and I can't wait for her to fill us in on everything that's going on in the reality world. Good morning, Shelley.
Good morning, Paul. How are you today?
I love you.
I love you.
How you doing? Everything going good?
Everything's going well. This reality wrap-up is brought to you by Greenwood Lake Marina. Get out on the lake this spring.
Yes.
Yay.
Let's do it. We're going to go on May 22nd. Shelley, we're going to go on the boat, so be ready for that. Say hello to my guests in the studio today from Full Moon Paranormal. It's Nicole and Lisa, and, meet Shelley, guys.
Hey, Shelley.
Hi, Nicole and Lisa.
Hi, good morning.
We actually have a ghost that lives in our house. His name is Daniel.
Oh, wow.
He is actually, we live by Princeton, and his grave is by itself across the street in the easement behind our neighbor's house. And he comes in our house because he likes how happy we are in the activity. So he just hangs and then he goes.
That's nice.
Oh my gosh! What do you feed Daniel?
He's tied to the property and not to the house, so
like
he's not
literally,
here always.
Literally tied to it.
Yeah. Well, no, he doesn't come in bonded.
Yeah, can't tie a ghost down. We were just talking about that. They go through doors, everything. You can't put a rope around him.
No, cannot.
Yes.
Cannot. He's very busy. He died when he was 4.
Aw.
He liked your energy.
Now, is he
He
still?
just likes energy.
Is he still Is he still the same personality of like a 4-year-old?
From what Dawn says, yes.
Gotcha. Okay, Shelley.
He still wears his period clothing. He was born in the 1800s, and he's dressed appropriately, and he likes the energy, so he chills out with my wife.
Well, he seems like a very fine chap, and I'll have to meet him someday when I come over to the house next time we play Parcheesi.
Yes, when I'm not here. You guys can hang with Daniel.
All right, Shelley, what's going on in reality TV, my friend?
So I don't know if you had 287 in your sinkhole bingo. So we're going to talk about some real reality for a minute. And my other favorite real reality is on March Madness. Do you have an NCAA basketball team that you love, Paul?
You know what? I got the chalk. I got Duke here.
You got Duke? I'm not a front runner girl. I went to Syracuse, so I was made fun of for being the front runner for a long time. I like the spoilers, so we're watching some reality TV this weekend and NCAA basketball and Survivor. It was a history-making week. Again, if you don't watch Survivor, I'm not going to spoil it, so hop on and check that out. And this week on Idol, we met Sophie Powers, and Sophie Powers is not going to win because she didn't make it through to Hollywood. But if you Google her, she is going in the annals and the hallways, hanging on the wall with a picture because she's the William Hung of this year. Paul, do you remember William Hung?
He's the guy that went viral for the She bang. Yeah. I remember. See, I kind of knew it. Yes. And
we have a William Hung in the mix.
Oh, okay.
And my new reality show of the week, and something that you guys could try, is something called The Trust. There are 10 people. There's a pile of money, which is my favorite motivator for people to perform their best idiocy. And they have to trust. They can trust each other right now, and 10 of them can each get $100,000, or you can get rid of people or vote for people, and you get more money. So it's loyalty and greed all over the place, which is what reality TV is. I like it in my fantasy world. I don't like it in real life, so it's my guilty pleasure, of course. And, of course, all the usual suspects are on right now. The Bachelor, don't watch that. Not interested in people making out with multiple people. That's a different show. But I stick with the originals: Amazing Race, Survivor, American Idol, The Voice. That's my focus for right now. I did throw The Circle in the mix, which is an interesting experiment, we'll call it. So I'm enjoying that one, and I'll tell you a little bit about that one next week. And it's been great being with you this morning. It's reality wrap-up. I cannot say reality wrap-up this morning. It's been a week. It's brought to you by our friend Clint Green at the Greenwood Lake Marina.
And that's easy for you to say. And
It's not.
And actually, the best part about this is, Shelley, you're so good at this. You even gave a teaser for next week.
I did.
You're a genius.
Well, I get it from you.
All right. So listen, we'll get a room. All right. It's all good. All right, Shelley. Love you. Thanks
Have
for
a
being on the
wonderful
show today.
week.
We'll see you next week. All right.
Nice to meet you, scary seekers.
Lisa and Nicole.
All right, you
Lisa and
too.
Nicole.
Bye, Shelley.
Take care.
Bye, Shell.
I know.
All right. So Shelley's my longtime friend, and she's a reality nut, and I always appreciate when she comes on and says hi to our guests and gives us a little reality, taste. Do you guys like reality TV? Do you watch reality TV? Are there paranormal? Is there a paranormal show out there?
There needs to be more paranormal reality shows.
I see some income potential here, Nicole. Maybe we could do that and come up with that. If we can think about it, I'd be surprised if somebody hasn't come up with it.
Yeah, and I kind of like Shelley's name, Scary Seekers.
Right?
Scary Seekers,
yeah,
right?
that's
right,
what she
right,
called
right.
us.
Shelley better copyright that.
Yeah. Well, listen, she probably already has the domain name and the copyright and the trademark on top of everything, because that's just the type of person she is. So, all right, let's get back to ghost stuff, because I feel like with the paranormal and the movie genre, it's a special genre, So why do you, Lisa, enjoy the paranormal movie genre so much outside of the fact of, the fact that you do this stuff for a living? Why do you like it so much, the movies?
I just like being scared, I guess. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I mean, I love the twists and turns in the movies, and some of it just seems very real to me. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, and they all have these certain tropes to them that are different. You know what a trope is for a movie, Nicole? So one of the tropes that you see out there is what they call the isolated setting. A lot of paranormal movies happen in an isolated setting, where you have a remote or confined location. The tension amplifies, creates a sense of claustrophobia, helplessness. Some of the films that come to mind with that are The Shining, right? The Lodge, Lake Mungo, which is kind of a weird one. But do you guys have some tropes that you enjoy more than others when you're watching the movies? Nicole, is there a certain kind? I mean, is it the forbidden ritual, summoning gone wrong? Is it the creepy kids trope? Or is it the final revelation, that twist ending in The Sixth Sense?
Oh, the creepy kids one gets me every time.
Yeah. I think so too, man. That's really weird when you see a creep, like another one that's in The Shining.
The Shining, yeah.
Oh my gosh!
The kids in the hallway.
Yeah, the kids in the hallway.
that was
different kids in the hall,
terrifying.
right, Lisa? And I feel like another thing about these paranormal movies that we take for granted is all the different quotes that come out of these type of movies in this particular genre, because in other genres it's not necessarily that way. But quotes how about the power of Christ compels you?
I know what that's from.
You could tell me that one. We're not playing the game yet. Nicole, you're here.
Poltergeist.
That's right.
Have you ever looked into the curse behind that movie?
No, tell me.
Yeah, there's a curse.
Oh, there's a curse. Everybody who was involved in that movie.
Oh, was dying and stuff
Yep.
like that, were weird, bizarre gardening accidents and stuff like that, along the way.
Yep.
How did this person die? He went for an eyelash operation and died on the operating table,
Yes.
right? Or something, all these kind of things. What about whatever job you do, don't fall asleep.
Oh, is that Nightmare on Elm Street?
It is Nightmare on Elm
All right.
Street. It is Nightmare on Elm Street. So on the other side, we're going to do the Radio Line movie contest, but the FlixPop Radio Movie Line contest, your chance to win dinner in a movie. All you have to do is identify the movie that the line we give you is from. We'll give you the line. You give us the movie. If you call us with the correct answer first, you'll win dinner for two at Spaziani's Catering and Food Design, 1572 Route 23 in Butler, New Jersey. The tickets are for their Friday night feast, which is just ridiculously awesome. I go there every Friday night. And try to avoid, the diabetes pitfalls because I can't even resist anything they have. You'll also receive 2 movie gift cards for your enjoyment the following Friday at AMC Theaters in Wayne, New Jersey. The tickets are sponsored by Denise Fuchs, Transformational Life Coach. She helps her business owner clients earn money and more in less time. March 27th, 7 p.m., she's hosting an online workshop called Authentic Work-Life Balance. To register, call 201-961-3666. So I'm going to give you guys the quote. Please don't blurt it out, although you might know it. And then on the other side of the hour, we'll get the an answer, hopefully. So here's the quote from this famous paranormal movie masterpiece. You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to bash your brains in.
Oh, that's a good one.
You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to bash your brains in. Number to call is 845-651-1110. Again, 845-651-1110. Call now if you know the answer, and we'll get you those dinner tickets. You can also text us, 845, let's see, 845, blanking on the number, 845-328-0886. And you can text us. We'll read your text on the air. So, all right, guys, we have a little bit of time before we get out on this break now. Tell us about instruments and tools that you use, Lisa.
Oh, we use a lot of stuff. We use spirit boxes. We use some apps on our phones. We use something as simple as a cat ball. REM pods. I'm trying to think of everything.
Yeah.
A lot of trigger objects we use. Anything that the ghost can interact with.
Have you ever had somebody, when you're on location doing this, just completely freak out from what's going on around them? Nicole?
Yep.
Tell us about a time when somebody just lost their marbles.
Actually, last night that happened. She didn't want to stay in the room because we were running the Phasma box, which is a program that lets these spirits speak to us. And she thought the voices were so creepy, so weird. And then the lights started going on and off. She wouldn't even stay in the room.
Yeah, I had to walk her out.
Wow.
She left halfway through the event.
That happened just last night?
Yes.
Wow, that's unbelievable. And I just feel like that would happen all the time. And when Rich Moschella was with us at the Butler Museum when we did it, and first of all, I had them do a paranormal investigation, and I got in so much trouble because I never asked for permission. But I figured if I asked for permission, they could say no, and easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. But okay, so on the other side, we're going to get a winner for dinner and a movie. We'll hear from Santiago with the People's Podcast Review. I still have more questions for Lisa and Nicole. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back to FlixPop Radio. I hope we're in your pocket. Hope you're live streaming. Go to WTBQ.com, hit the little black button. You can keep us every Saturday in your pocket at the grocery store, when you go rock climbing, whatever. Lisa and Nicole and myself, we went rock climbing during the week. We also did we did that walking tour in Warwick, and we went to that Revolutionary War camping site, right? People think that when we do this show, when you guys show up for the radio, it's like the first time I'm seeing you guys.
Right.
We had a good time. And it's not. We had such a great time, and especially the rock climbing, and I thought Nicole was going to die when she fell off the one thing. It was awesome. All right, so I got
you could have investigated me.
Yes, and then we could have investigated you after your death. But listen, let's get off the negative. I got a caller on the line who wants to answer the question. Who am I speaking with? Who's the caller?
Hi, my name is Mary Lou.
Hi, Mary Lou. How are you? Where are you from?
I'm from Middletown.
Oh, Middletown. Awesome. We know it well. And before we even get into this, we just want to tell you something from us to you and to your family. We love you.
Oh, we love you too.
Thank you so much. Are you a regular listener?
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Thanks so much. I appreciate you. You have no idea how much. Let me give you the quote again, okay? And if you get the right answer, I want to give you these tickets, all right? You ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to bash your brains in. What movie is that quote from?
The Shining.
That's right. She got it. The Shining. You are the winner. Now, listen, I know you're from the Hudson Valley, and so, Mary Lou, and I know that these tickets are for a place in Pompton Lakes, so hopefully you'll take the drive and you'll go to this place. I promise you it's worth it. Just stay on the line and give your email to our producer, and I'll make sure we get these out to you, okay?
Thank you so much.
All right, love you. Have a great day. Hey, who gives you the best chance to win and get lucky on the radio?
WTBQ.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Okay, so great. So that I figured somebody was going to get that. That's a great quote, right?
It is.
Let's talk a little bit about The Shining, because I feel like, spoiler alert, that could be the number one movie of the genre.
Yeah, that was
where Exorcist really is really the one. Because something about having, Blair, just projectile vomit, something about that is classic. You don't have that kind of stuff in The Shining, but you do have Lloyd. You do have Here's Johnny. What are some other great quotes from this movie, The Shining? How about Red Rum?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say Red Rum.
Red Rum. It's a great movie. And, I can remember just being scared out of my pants. Is this what movies do for you too, Nicole?
I want to be scared, so I'm always on the hunt for like the scariest movies.
Now, jump scares, are they something that you love, or you like they don't do anything for you because you're just so desensitized to these things in your regular life and what you do that they don't really scare you? Is that true? Not true?
I like the jump scares, but it's better when it's like that creep factor that stays with you after you watch the movie.
Sure.
And you can't sleep at night.
Right.
You're still thinking, well, what if there is something in the closet?
And instead of like walking into your kitchen, you run in there and run out as quick as you can because you feel like, you're not going to get dragged down by some spirit underneath your center island or whatever. Yep. And, when you watch a movie like The Shining, that's what you get. So, okay. All right. Santiago, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good morning, Paul, Lisa, and Nicole.
Good morning, brother. How you doing, man? The People's Podcast Review on FlixPop Radio is reported each week by Santiago. He's a podcaster, engineer, podcast producer out of A&J Studios in Pompton Plains, New Jersey. But not only that, this guy makes my voice sound like velvet. Ooh. Santiago, how are you today, my friend? Give us the reality. Give it to us.
Right, listening to all the spooks and chills of this morning coming in,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I know. I'm like perpetual hair standing up on my arms.
Well, maybe it's just someone passing through you. That's all it is.
We'll bring you guys out on an investigation.
Is that possible, ladies? I don't know. All right, go ahead, Andrew. Drop this podcast on us.
All right. Well, good morning. And the People's Podcast is brought to you by Cardinal Tours located in Pompton Lakes, New Jersey. This week, we actually talk about The Grave. It's called The Graves Talk Podcast. And what's different about this podcast, because every week we bring you something, that's what makes these podcasts different. It's uniqueness, right? Mm-hmm. So this week, Graves Talk Podcast actually speaks one-on-one with individuals who have had personal experience and are still having personal experience with the supernatural. It's actually one of the podcasts that jumps really right into it. The host does a really brief introduction, and then it's all about the individual. And the beauty about this, it's hosted by Harper and Tony Bruschi. You can even follow some of their adventures on the YouTube channel, Real Ghost Stories. But the podcast itself is available on all streaming channels, all streaming platforms, pardon me.
Your favorite thing about this podcast, Santiago?
My favorite thing about it is that it's not a one-shot kind of thing. It wasn't like, I saw apparition. There are stories where people are like, since I moved into the house, and now it's just kind of like, I'm having these experiences throughout my life kind of situation.
Oh, absolutely.
And that kind of, you know, it separates. And it's not all negative. You know, it's not like, you know, and my glass was thrown against the wall. It wasn't like a poltergeist situation. It's like, hey, you know, they shut off the water when I left the kitchen.
Right.
You know.
Or they turned it on.
Yeah, right. You know, if you guys ever see one of the most popular ones on TikTok, it's Ethel the Ghost. And it's just a couple living. The same thing like we just heard from Shelley, right? Living with this, you know, entity and doing, whether it's scrolling on their iPad or, you know, warning them about fires inside the house. It's very interesting.
I love Ethel the Ghost.
Ethel the Ghost is great. And ladies on the show, like, I get the, like, if you do this podcast, right, do you think there's people, spirits, whatever, like, listening in on these things, Santiago? I mean,
spirits are everywhere.
They're everywhere, yes?
Yeah.
Right. Now,
Well,
is it possible to bring them to a place, though?
You know, one interesting thing that I do find is a lot of that relates, right? Heavy with sound, is frequency. So if you're actually able to tune into the right frequency, which is some of the equipment I'm pretty sure Lisa and Nicole use, right?
Yes.
It actually goes into a certain frequency where they're able to communicate back and forth. Now, in the audio world, because we're all about frequency and sound, it just makes perfect sense.
That's awesome.
I mean,
I agree.
You know.
Yeah. And Santiago, I appreciate you. I appreciate your report. For those of you out there that don't know, Santiago is my guest in studio next week on FlixPop Radio. I can't wait to have you in here. We're gonna go crazy, bro. We're gonna light the world on fire. What do you think?
I'm excited.
All right, bro.
I think it's going to be fire. So everybody, thank you again, the People's Podcast, and this is FlixPop Radio.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it,
day,
Santiago. We'll
All
talk
right,
to you
bye-bye.
soon.
Bye.
All right. So podcasts, ghosts, you know, let's get from you guys. If you could let our listeners know, say, you know, they got up this morning, they're drinking their coffee and, you know, some force knocked it out of their hand. Now they're upset. They want to call you guys or listen to our radio show right now, because I don't know if you guys noticed, we drove in here today. There's no traffic anywhere in Warwick. Do you guys know why that is?
I do not.
I do, because they're all listening to you guys on the radio.
Okay.
So nobody's out there driving. They all want to know how they would call you and summon you to your house. Lisa, tell them how they get in touch with you.
Actually, Nicole, can you take
Go ahead, Nicole.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
So you can find us basically on all social media, Full Moon Paranormal. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. You can email us, fullmoonparanormal@yahoo.com. And tell us what's going on, and if we can, we'll come in and help you out.
Excellent. Time that you were the most nervous during an investigation, when was it?
Oh boy. Geez, I really have to. I'm trying to think.
Because I'm sure crazy stuff's happening. Like when
I've gotten touched. You know what? It was at the Shanley Hotel.
Okay.
In Napanock, and it's one of the most haunted hotels in New York. And I had my headphones on with a spirit box, and something growled very loudly in my left ear. And I was supposed to sleep over that night, and I did not.
You were like, no thanks. I'm going to pass on
I mean,
that.
it was a growl. It was not like
of this world.
Person.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Didn't sound like that anyway.
How about you, Nicole?
I mean, my experience at the Shanley was kind of crazy, too, when I saw a full-bodied apparition standing next to me that I thought was Lisa and was not.
Wow.
So the girl we're with leaves the room. I leave the room. I think Lisa walks up behind me, and we're standing there for a good 5-10 minutes. I can see her at the corner of my eye next to me. I turn to tell her something, and there's no Lisa. She was downstairs the whole time.
It was my doppelganger.
Jesus. Now there's a lot of there's some people that are in your industry that are sensitive, and they're, you know, mediums, and they're stuff like this, and they do a lot of investigations, and if you take it cumulatively, there's a lot of things out there. Do you think that in the ghost world or in the paranormal world they have like because this is a big opportunity for spirits, right? When they hear that there's an investigation going on in Sylvia's tonight, did they bust their butt getting down there so that they can take part or maybe get their message across? I mean, I know what I'm saying is absurd.
It's not, though.
No, that's what I was going to say. It's really not absurd, right? What about that?
You wouldn't believe how many times we're at an event trying to get spirits to come through from that particular location, and everybody's family members are coming through because the door's open, they're coming in.
And there's not many opportunities when you're a dead person to, you know, get to communicate with the world. And they all have messages, and maybe they went too soon. Maybe some of them went when it was a shock or a surprise or whatever, you know, and they want to tell their loved ones something.
Or they have a story to tell.
They have a story to tell, right? That's
what happened to them.
another trope in paranormal movies, and one movie that comes to mind is Ghost, where the actual like ghost in the movie is trying to right a wrong, or trying to, you know, let people know who killed them, or something like that. That's a really great trope for paranormal horror. So like we're at 58, so we're really kind of up against it now. You guys have been really great guests. I want to invite you to come on the podcast, the FlixPop Radio Movie Club podcast. Which will come out in a few weeks. We'll actually do more and expand from this and get more. So guys, tune into that. You can find that anywhere. Just Google it, anywhere where you can download podcasts. FlixPop Radio is brought to you by Spaziani's Catering and Food Design, Cardinal Tours, Monica's Italian Restaurant, the Silk City Podcast, Cardinal Frames, and the Reset with Stephanie Shore Podcast, and Dream Builders by Design. I want to thank Clint Green from the Greenwood Lake Marina, Shelley Williams, Santiago, right behind the glass, and of course you, the callers. Couldn't do it without you. Next week on FlixPop Radio, we'll have Santiago in the studio live on the air talking about superhero movie genres. See you next week on FlixPop Radio.